Morning, Pete. I'm back, and I think Christmas has taken its toll because my brain's not working. I'm having trouble getting my sentences out, and this is the third time I've had to restart this video. I've been hitting the substances quite heavily last week. I was supposed to be going to Auckland actually for the whole of January to play in two chess tournaments, the New Zealand Chess Champs and another tournament. But something came up. I had to cancel, big crisis. So I couldn't go. And so now I'm sat at home watching them on Lee Chess, and drinking at the same time. So it's not good, peeps. It's not good. This blackcurrant, blackcurrant and apple, it packs quite a punch. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be drinking too much of it. But anyway, disaster, peeps, disaster. FPL and otherwise, because FPL, once again, this is a week of yet more frustration. What more could have been, shouldn't be, should have beens and weren'ts. So once again, I benched Joe Pedro, who, apart from Palmer and Salah, of course, was my highest scoring player this week, because the little prick has to go and get a penalty against Arsenal, get maximum bonus points. And it was the obvious benching choice this week, to be honest, out of my front eight. But then we had all that Liverpool drama, and it looked like 50-50 whether we were even going to get a game. And of course, the 50-50 went against me because I would have much preferred to see the game postponed. I would have got lots of, I would have got Pedro's points off the bench and all that. I wouldn't have had to watch Trent get 0 because he was absolutely useless. It might be better if I do sell him. So that's going badly, the old Trent. So basically, yeah, more bench headaches, peeps. So I brought Isaac in, did okay, 7 points. Solanke scored. That was kind of a highlight of my game week, really, because I kind of kept hold of him. I've always said he's a good option. And he's doing okay. Palmer's doing okay. Salah's doing good, of course. Robertson, Gabriel, and even Flecken doing well. Obviously none of these got points for Gabriel and Robinson didn't, but I mean they're okay picks. But I tell you who's not an okay pick, and that is Iwobi. And for all my bad luck in that the last few weeks, I don't count Iwobi as bad luck. I count Iwobi as bad play because he's never really been a bona fide fantasy asset, has he? He's got no pedigree as being a fantasy worthy player. All he was is a player in form with good fixtures playing for a kind of mid-table club. I suppose Fulham are slightly better than that, aren't they? But he was woeful peeps on Saturday. He was playing like a wing back. So he's going to have to go, I think. I mean, he's still got a few good fixtures, but he's going to have to go. Because to my mind, he was just in form. I tried to catch his form with some easy fixtures. It failed. Time to move him on. And I'm beginning to wonder too, if Sarr is in a similar category. Is he really a fantasy-worthy player? I mean, he was playing for Watford, wasn't he, last time he got points. But he was never really what you'd consider to be a top quality fantasy asset, was he? And any of these I think are inferior to the likes of Rodgers, and I've somehow ended up with all of them in my team. I'm going to have to do something about it. Anyway, I got 56 points, not great. Slid down the rankings. Probably would have been a green arrow if I hadn't benched Pedro, a bit like last week really. And it's just one of those things, you've got to bench somebody. And right now, whoever I bench is the one that gets all the points. So, yeah. Anyway, peeps, this is a quick video because we're going to do a main one next week. We're going to have a quick look at the Content Creator League because it's got a new feature on this FPL Live site. There's a new feature and it's quite an interesting one as well because if you look down here on the right hand side, you can see it now tells you how many transfers people have left. And that's quite, because I looked on the official website, the FPL site, and I couldn't see that on there. Like you can't, I don't know where to look to see how many transfers people in your mini leagues have got left. But on here, you can see it. Like you see, Bakar's got 2, Andy's got 3, Lake Riser's got a couple, Fabio's got 4. Look, 4 free transfers saved up. Joe's got 1, Az has got 1, Harry's got 3, Wag's got 4, and me and Mark have got 1 each. Tell you what, peeps, my golf game is improving. There's no doubt about it, right? I'll tell you, I went for a game of golf the other day with my South African mate, one who plays FPL. And first off, he starts winding me up about Iwobi, like questioning why I've got Iwobi, So that didn't sit well, peeps, you know what I mean? So I've got my A game out, got my 4-iron out, and I'm actually hitting my 4-iron now. Before, I've only been playing for about a year. Like most of my shots would hardly go anywhere. You know what I mean? Iron play, difficult. But now I'm starting to hit it quite well. Quite well, pips. Anyway, this is ordered by Scores for the Game Week. And once again, just like last week, the terrible twins are at the top. Bakar and Andy. Absolutely smashing it lately. Bakar bought Isaac in this week, not myself. And he's absolutely smashed it because everything's gone right for him, as usual. They're getting a nice run where everything's working for them. They're not leaving points on the bench. Joe Pedro with 9. Raul, 2 penalties, 13 points. Buemo, 19. So basically everybody. Blacken in goals still. So yeah, great score here by Bakar. Same with Andy, no doubt. Let's see, Pedro, Buemo, and Isaac Solanke. These 2 teams, like we said before, very much FPL review teams, these 2 players. They let the algorithm select their squad pretty much, it seems, so on evidence we've seen so far. Now, third, we've got Lake Riser. He's a rare visitor to these heights. Captained Haaland, 26 points. And it paid off, didn't it? I mean, Salah was very quiet, really, wasn't he? Very quiet against Man United. I mean, the whole team seemed a bit off. I don't know if it was the fact that they didn't know if the game was going to take place or whatever, and whether it changed the atmosphere and the build-up. It must have been quite difficult. And they didn't turn up, really, did they? Like I said, Trent was awful. Salah didn't do a great deal. The one person who looked decent was one I mentioned last week, and that was Gakpo, who's looking like an option these days, isn't he? Although there's quite a bit of competition, isn't there, for the front 3 places. So basically, he just had Pedro and Haaland, really. As the captaincy points got him out ahead. Then Fabio, 69, Joe, 67. We'll have a quick look at them, see if they've got anyone different. No, same old. It's Buemo for Fabio. And it is Buemo for Joe. So a lot of people still got Buemo in this list. Let me go down to also rounds where I am, and Az's and everybody else. You got Visser at least. Mark's always telling him Visser's no good, but Visser got 11. Now we're down amongst the people that do not have Buemo. I don't know if you lot have got Buemo or not. Fernandez at 7 points. I'll tell you what, I made a big mistake selling Fernandez, And considering what happened, I mean, I took Fernandez out for Sarr, who got 2 and 2, which meant I benched Pedro for both games. So if I just benched Fernandez, he would have played. Pedro would have played. So I'd have been 16 points better off there. And also now, this week, I'm getting Fernandes back in. So I've spent 2 transfers getting him out and getting him back in. And it's been a nightmare. It's like I said, everything I do turns out wrong. And then in a different reality, say I got a goal or 2 goals or whatever, and my transfer looked good. But of course it didn't, because none of that happened. And also in this other reality, Pedro blanks against Arsenal and against Villa after looking rubbish for the 4 or 5 games I did play him in. But no, as soon as you bench someone, smack. That's what it feels like, peeps, the last few weeks. I've just been, whatever I do, I've just been getting smacked for. And I think the only bad thing I've really done is buy a Wobie on the grounds that he's not a proper fantasy asset. Right, so Wag, what's she got here? Ahmad, at least she's got Ahmad, look. 9 points. And that was another thing. I mean, people have been so jammy this week. I was saying to my mate that 30 seconds, literally 30 seconds before Ahmad scored, I turned to him and I said, well, at least Ahmad's only got 1 point. And then he went and scored straight. He scored straight away and picked up bonus. So, it's good for Waggo, isn't it? Good for some of you that have got him. And Mark's bottom this week. He's been having a good run. He did bow into Luis Diaz. He did what he said he was going to do. I was wondering if he would actually go through with this transfer, because it was a bit of a risky one, wasn't it? But he got Luis Diaz in. Got him 1 point. Although he's going to get points, isn't he, at some stage. He's got Jesus and Evan Nielsen. And, he had a quiet week for a change. But that's basically it, peeps, of this league. Total, Harry's still ahead, but only just. Look, Andy's only 8 behind him now. He's coming nowhere. He's like 100 points behind him 4 or 5 weeks ago. And they've just had a ridiculous run. He's overtaken Fabio. Then Bakar's up there, Mark, and it's all quite close. There's not much in it. I mean, what am I? 500k. 500. I thought it was 499. Slipping, peeps, slipping. Even the back markers, he's closing in on 1 million. So it's all going to be compressing. And all we need now, peeps, is a bit of average, just a bit of average luck. Because it's been ridiculous. Honestly has. So let's have a look. What should we be doing? Have you got Cunha? Do you go Real or do you go Wood? That's what you'd be asking yourselves, isn't it? But again, this week, coming up, my team looks fine. I wouldn't play Flecken. I'll play for Bruggen against Ipswich. Or Ipswich are looking actually quite good, aren't they? This week I'm playing João Pedro, peeps. I'm benching Semenyo. So we know what's happening, don't we? We already know. Semenyo's scoring away at Chelsea, just to be double annoying. And Pedro's blanking away at Ipswich. So he's got a good fixture. My front line looks all right. Still happy with them. Not changing any of those. Like I said, I'm not too happy with Iwobi. I mean, there's no point replacing Semenyo because I'll have another benching headache. And this time I can't bench. I'm sick of benching headaches, basically. So the transfer I'm looking at, I've had enough of Iwobi. Like I said, he was playing wing back. It was awful. Only lasted 60 minutes. And I've just got no faith in him whatsoever. So I'm bringing Fernandes back. Home to Southampton. I thought Southampton had improved, but looking at the game at the weekend, they looked awful again. So I'll bring Fernandes back in. And I'll tell you what is interesting this week is the captaincy. I mean, it's probably too early to go on about it, but Forest are looking very good defensively. And, Liverpool away to them. Isaac home to Wolves. Fernandes at home to Southampton. They're options. They're proper options. I mean, I'll probably end up going Salah. if everyone else does, just because everyone else is, and it's quite risky to go against him. Because I mean, even he didn't play that great, did he? This against United, but he still scored. So I mean, it was a penalty again, wasn't it? Like the weekend of penalties, wasn't it, this week? So basically, I think that's what I'll be doing. I'll be getting Iwobi out and getting Fernandez in. Still no plans to get Mbeumo in. So let's see, they're home to City. Could well score again. Would I captain Haaland? No, I'd rather captain Isaac, I think, than Haaland. If I was, if I had Haaland, I still probably wouldn't captain him. I'd probably rather captain him than Salah there, I think, this week. Chelsea home to Bournemouth. Chelsea looking a bit rubbishy, aren't they? Jackson's gone right off for Boyle. Bournemouth are quite decent. Wouldn't really want to captain Palmer, I think. West Ham home to Fulham. Again, West Ham are looking West Ham-like. I mean, this could. I mean, Iwobi could score, couldn't he, this week? But on the balance of possibilities, you've got to think Fernandez is a better pick. And the other reason I'm happier now to bring Fernandez in, as before I was worried I'd have to start finding money to replace João Pedro, but now I really don't think I will, really. Because I mean, you know, he's annoying as fuck, but I mean, at least he scored goals, isn't he? Leicester home to Palace. Is this a week Sarr gets me some points? I doubt it, but you never know, do you? Forest Liverpool. Already touched on that one. Tricky fixture. Will Trent even play? I'm not so sure he will, you know. I'm not even sure he will. I mean, Bradley's been injured, hasn't he? But he's back now. And Trent was pretty awful. He's obviously had his head turned. And, you know, I'll keep him. Right, what have we got? Ipswich home to Brighton. Ipswich improved form. I don't know what's going to happen there. Who knows? Ipswich got a good chance of winning that game, I think. Arsenal Tottenham, probably going to have goals in it, isn't it? I'll start Solanke in that one. I won't bench him just because there's always goals. Man United home to Southampton, which, you know, I mean, are they going to take a lot of heart from that draw with Liverpool? Probably. But it's against the weaker teams where they've let the side down, isn't it? So we'll see. Maybe they've finally turned the corner and they're actually putting in a good effort. So game week 24 is approaching soon, isn't it, when we're going to be using that new chip. So let's have a look at fixtures. Christmas is over now. We've had a lot of fixtures in like a very little time. So like fixture ticker's been moving along quite quickly, hasn't it? And so let's see who's got the best sort of fixtures now. I've got some nice ones coming up in a couple of weeks. I might well get rid of Semenyo in a couple of weeks and get what's his face back in? Rodgers. Keep getting people back in, don't they, after missing all their points. Right, so let's have a look. Brentford rubbish. No, City, Liverpool, Tottenham. Well, Tottenham all right, I guess. But I won't be rushing Mbeumo in. Chelsea still okay. But Jackson does seem a little out of form, to be honest. Palace still good, so I'm going to keep Sarr for at least the next 3 weeks. Fulham are getting like mixed again. They had a very good fixtures. I'm quite happy, I think. I mean, they got West Ham away and Leicester away, but I can't wait on Iwobi forever. Ipswich have got shockers coming up. Leicester mixed. Liverpool not bad. City's fixtures aren't that fantastic either, are they? I mean, they've got Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool away at Tottenham. So I'm not in any rush to get Haaland back. Actually, Salvio looks the most interesting option, doesn't he, for City? He's looking very lively. And, you know, he's instrumental in their recovery, isn't he? So, I mean, he's only 6 million odd, so he's an option if you're looking for a differential. Man United fixtures aren't too bad now at all, really. Fairly reasonable. Want someone, you know, Fernandez, at least he gets points, doesn't he? The likes of Iwobi and that are just winding me up. Newcastle, still okay. I mean, you could still get Gordon in midfield. Forest. Now, the one I like is, I've been saying it for a while now, is Morgan Gibbs White. And I do actually have him in another format. And he got a goal today, didn't he? But it's these three fixtures here that are putting me off. So I'm kind of watching them from afar. We'll see how they go against Liverpool next week. But they have got Southampton at home coming up, which if Southampton look really bad against Man United, then it could be a team to target again, couldn't they? Tottenham, mixed fixtures. They have got Leicester at home coming up, which is good. West Ham's good fixtures are running out pretty much. They've pretty much run out, haven't they? And Wolves have got shocking fixtures. So no one's really actually got what you'd call fantastic fixtures, have they? They're all mixed. Everyone's got like a mixed bag. There's no real team that you feel like you have to jump on at the moment. So I think, you know, I think I will probably do Iwobi to Fernandez. I don't see. I think we're going to have even more money, aren't we, soon? Because I've got a feeling Trent's going to be off, which is going to free up another blooming 1 or 2 million. Like I said, I've got no interest in changing my strikers. Of course, we have got a transfer window. So that is one thing. You never know who might be turning up into a league. If Trent does go, Bradley could become a great, really cheap option, couldn't he? Maybe they'll go for Robinson. Somebody like that. Just don't know, do we? So that's about it, peeps. I think could have a quick look on Reddit, but it's not a huge amount. Here we are. Look what to do with a Roby. Just a huge disappointment week by week. That's pretty much right. I mean, for the money, he was he was okay, I guess. But when they don't score, you kind of beat yourself up about it a bit, don't you? Especially when you've got fucking South African pricks going on at you about it. When you're trying to, on the par five, you know, you're concentrating, and then you've got someone whispering Iwobi in your ear. You know, it's a bit annoying, peeps, a bit annoying. Right, let's have a look. Speaking about fucking bricks, we'll go and have a look. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go and have a look. We won't go to Reddit because there's not much on there. We're going to go and have a look at this real community league because Blindside. Now, he got 60 this week, but he's the first manager I've seen who's actually gone out and bought Haaland this week. He bought Haaland this week and captained him. So he brought him back in. So fair play to him. He's picked the right week, you know, because he hasn't had him for a while. But he's gone and brought him in this week and slapped the armband on him. And well done. You know, you've done well. Because whether it's going to be good long term for you or not, I don't know. He benched Pedro as well. You know, he's in the same boat as me there, peeps. He started Enzo and benched Pedro. Would I have started Enzo and benched Pedro? Probably not, actually. But I don't like Enzo, you know, so I haven't got Enzo in my team. But that's one thing I did. At least I avoided Enzo. So I haven't played totally uselessly. So I avoided him anyway. I had a feeling he'd be a waste of space. Although, you know, he's had chances and he's probably done better than a Wobie, to be fair. So he's got 60. So this is more normal, this group here, look. He's not seeing those big scores that the Content Creator League had. Because these people all pick their own teams. They don't all pick a team by review. And so they've got more of a mixed bag this week. You know, I don't know if those review teams are going to continue to do as well as they have been. They've had a really, really good run the last 4 or 5 weeks. Like everything seems to have fallen in their favour. But we know what FPL's like. It can soon change. And we'll see who we got here. I lost the blooming Hindu monkey. Jesus. Who's he got? Raya Gabriel, Trent Guardiola, Palmer, Wood, Solanke and Strand Some people still got Strand Oh, he benched Damad. So at least I'm not the only one this week. I think a lot of people in the community have had bench issues this week, haven't they? And like I said, you either got lucky or unlucky with that Liverpool weather. If that snow had carried on a little bit longer, then we'd have all been having all these players in our team. We'd have captained Palmer points, and it would have all been looking a lot rosier for some of us. So let's see, who else had problems on their bench? Let's look at Bateman. What's he been up to? 77. Played his wild card. Yeah, so Bateman's played a wild card. So this is interesting. Played a wild card, got 77. Bought Sells in, who does look a very good option, doesn't he? You got Castagna on his wild card. I don't know if that's going to turn out to be a good pick or not. I suspect not. Got Eze on his wild. I tell you what, peeps, he's looking like he's used FPL review for his own team. You know, I know he likes to go on at content creators, but has he been dipping his wig into FPL review? We wonder. Probably not if he's got Kulusevski, which is a strange wild card pick, actually, isn't it? Why would you get Kulusevski on a wild card? Don't know, Pete. I've got to stop slurping this stuff, haven't I? Because apparently my sound is now so good that you can all hear me slurping. Hang on, I've checked my filters are working. Yeah, my filter's working, so you'll all better hear that. I'm very noisy when I drink this stuff. You know, you've got to savour it. You know what I mean? Got to savour it, peeps. Fine drop. So anyway, where were we? So he's bought Kulusevski in on his wild card. Didn't leave much on his bench at least, but he's done well. You know, he can't complain. He's got 77 points. And let's see who else. Nima. Haven't seen him around for a while. 59 minus 4, so only 55, really. Still got Lewis, Odegaard. So Odegaard's another one. Oh, look, you see he benched Pedro. I'm feeling better now, peeps. I'm feeling better. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not the only one who did it. It did make sense. It's just very frustrating. You know, you bench João Pedro against Arsenal, and he gets 8 more points than your Arsenal midfielder, you know, Odegaard. Be very annoying, wouldn't it? Very annoying. So this is quite interesting. This league's actually quite interesting because everybody's got different teams. Let's see, Steve-O, 44. Who's he got? This shows you he's got a very template team here, but only got 44 points. I mean, this is what can happen, isn't it? Ahmad on his bench. Again, probably not a bad option to bench. You know, you wouldn't say, you know, he's playing Liverpool, had the worst fixture of any of these, and he'd looked pretty awful in his last game. But again, 9 points. So let's have a look. Fernandez on the bench, 7 points. This character got Real's goals. Played 5 at the back. Anya, Forest defenders, very underrepresented, aren't they? Yeah, that's right. So only one that got 6 points. So a lot of people's defenders got very little this week, didn't they? Still got Jackson. Jackson's definitely fallen off a bit of a cliff, hasn't he? We've seen blindsides already. We've seen Wags, Dave Aston. Let's have a look at his team. He's normally got someone interesting. Baby Goat, Hoyson, 8 points. I mean, Hoyson's just another one playing 5 at the back. Bench Gw. That's interesting, isn't it? Do you play 5 at the back and bench your midfielder, who didn't have a bad fixture? Bench Jackson as well. Bench, what the hell's going on here, peeps? So he benched Jackson. Why has he benched Jackson and played 5 at the back? Is this a mistake? No, I mean, is he not meant to do it? Who did they play? Bournemouth home to Everton. Yes, Baby Goat's been doing well, so fair enough. Gabriel, fair enough. Hall away at Tottenham. Would you play Hall away at Tottenham over Jackson? No, you wouldn't, would you? Or Waby even. I don't think you would. I know he's done well lately, but I don't think you would. Having said that, I mean, all the attackers he did play all returned. You nearly, he kind of got away with it, didn't it? It sort of worked because he played Hoyson over Iwobi and Jackson. Or he captained Isaac, though. Worked out exactly the same as captaining Salah. So, I mean, he's a good manager, this character. He does things a bit differently than most people, but he's still, he's a very good manager. Rob Hall, let's have a look at what he's got up to. 51, Isaac, oh no, wrong place. Nobody on his bench. But didn't have João Pedro. Strand Larson should have got a hat-trick today. I mean, Forest are lucky to keep a clean sheet, really, weren't they? Cunha had been there, they wouldn't have kept one. So let's have a look. What else? That's about it, I think. Have a quick look at Dread. Nothing on his bench. Got João Pedro. The thing is, you've got nothing on your bench, then you play João Pedro, don't you? But some of us, too many good players, and we can't blooming play them all. It's cost us. I'm very tempted, honestly, very tempted to get a 4.5 midfielder in that I'm not tempted to play, just so that all my best 7 attackers play every single week. I hate all this rotation, bench rotation, because it just backfires every week. Semenyo's going to score against Chelsea next week, and I think that game's going to suit him too, because there'll be counter-attacking Chelsea, and it's going to suit Semenyo. But I don't bench Pedro again, not against Ipswich. I mean, I could bench Solanke against Arsenal, but Solanke's been getting points. He got a goal against Liverpool. He scored again last week. So it makes sense to bench Semenyo, but I can see, I'm traumatised now, peeps, traumatised. So anyway, that's about it. We've had a bit of a ramble through what people are doing. And, a lot of you would have been in the same boat, wouldn't you? You'd have either wanted the Liverpool game on or off. I saw Ben Crellin, who had like 1 point on his bench, was desperate for the Liverpool game to go ahead. And he always seems to get the luck always falls on his side. You know what I mean? It would have been so nice if that game had been called off. We'd had another double game week to look forward to. Anyway, peeps, that's about it. I'm ranting now, waffling on. And I'll be back later in the week. And I'm still trying to find other things to look at, talk about, and all that sort of thing. So leave your suggestions in the comments. A lot of people said they wanted more stories. And I haven't really got a great deal at the moment, apart from the fact I didn't go to Auckland and play in these chess tournaments. I've been preparing for them for months, and something come up that couldn't be avoided, and I had to cancel. And so now it's going to be Easter before my next tournament, and instead I'm watching them online. They're all on here on Lee Chess. See, you can go to watch the broadcasts, live broadcasts, and instead of playing in this tournament, I'm watching it instead. See this is all the games from the New Zealand Chess Champs that are on live, so I can actually watch them all, which is pretty good. We've got a Grandmaster from Hungary turned up and playing in it, and in his first round game, he drew with somebody who was like a normal club player, and you thought, hang on, this guy's a top GM, and he's drawn. But since then, he's won 5 games on the bounce now. He's beating a very good player here, and so it's all go peeps. So this is what I'm doing now. Just watching them at home, and rather than playing in it. It's a bit unfortunate, but it can't be helped. And yeah. So anyway, peeps, I'm off now, and I'll talk to you all later. Anyway, so like and subscribe, and if you've got any questions or anything at all, then put them in the comments. And I will be back with a proper video later in the week. Because I didn't really want to do this one. It's so frustrating. All these bench points, 2 weeks in a row, and just generally players blanking, and other players getting massive scores. I mean, that Real getting 2 penalties, and that's just all annoying. If he'd gone off like he normally does for Muniz, he would have gone off with 2 points or whatever, but he stays on for the penalties. And crazy game, FPL, isn't it? I think FPL's like 90% sort of frustration and ho-hum. And then you get that 10% of, you know what I mean? It makes it all worth it, doesn't it? When you get a real huge score or whatever, and you get all the dopamine pumping through you, and you feel good, don't you? But the rest of the time, nightmare, peeps, nightmare. Anyway, I'm off now, and like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you all later. Okay, cheers for now.